Roadies, it's been a while. Hasn't it been a couple of weeks at least? I've been busy. I've been just non-stop busy, it seems like. Where shall we begin? So much to share with you. So the picture that you saw at the beginning of this video of the quilt is one of my most favorite patterns by Stacy West of Buttermilk Basin. I just think it's adorable, and I think the silhouette in the center actually looks like my youngest grandson. Well, when I found out that a friend of mine started an Etsy shop and had that quilt for sale, I thought, oh my gosh, I can support an Etsy shop. I can check that box off of my list of some days, and I could have the quilt all done. And so my friend Colleen, who is one half of Stitching with the Sisterlies floss tube, if you are interested in floss tube, it is predominantly a channel about cross stitch, but in this case both the Sisterlies not only cross stitch but they quilt. And so Colleen right here has opened an Etsy shop, and Colleen was the one that made this beautiful bee quilt for me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that and she backed it with Minky. I mean, it feels like a Minky kind of fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. And her sister, well, I was over stitching at her sister's house because Colleen lives out of state, but her sister is right here. Let me see where I put everything. Yeah, she's right here. She's like a hop, skip, and a jump from my house. So I was stitching at her house, and actually it is her house that I was quilting the Littles toddler quilts that I made, the throw quilts. I did it at her sister's house, but she has a lot of fabric on the wall. Just saying, she has a lot of fabric on the wall. And I saw a bolt that was screaming my name, and she cut me off a chunk. She cut me off a yard of it, because when you see this, look at this. It was screaming hexies to me. Now, it's an older fabric, but it is by Quilting Treasures, and it is a Dan Morris design. So I don't know if you'd be able to find it. Maybe you know, there's some shops that have older bolts or on the secondary market, but I mean, really awesome, isn't it? Yeah, so I loved getting that quilt from Colleen. Did I tell you that Colleen made this bee quilt back here too? I just love that. So it's been a bit. I've been busy. I had friends visiting. I went to Woolly Wednesdays at Pioneer Quilts and stitched with a group of women who are all working on different wool, and one of the projects is one that I actually have kitted and haven't done yet, but now it makes me want to dive into it, but not until I get this one done. This is the one that I took to work on at Pioneer Quilts. It's by Primitive Gatherings, and Pioneer Quilts is a bucket list shop. So if you ever traveling the West Coast, you want to stop in Portland at Pioneer Quilts. They literally have something for everyone. And so I was working on this particular block. Once I get this block totally done, I have 3 more that are already prepped. They just need to be wool stitched. And then I'll start working on the border, which is a little bit more, well, you could see. Not horrible, but just a lot more stitching. Yes, absolutely gorgeous quilt. And when I travel to these different stitch groups and stuff, I tend to take what project I want in one of these boxes that I get at Joann's. And it has everything in it, all of the blocks, all of the thread, and I prep ahead of time. So those of you who've been around, you know what I'm doing. I'm fusing my pieces down with soft fuse, and the back of all of these blocks have SF101, a Pellon product, fused to the back so that this flannel background won't get all stretchy when I'm stitching, because the wool is heavier than the flannel. And then I have my Yazzie wallet. Couldn't live without my Yazzie wallet. And it has all, I sewed a wool page in there, and then I have all the different types of needles I would need for any fancy stitching I'm doing, because it does, when you do fancy stitching, it requires specific kind of needles to not make it difficult for you to actually do the stitching. And this little wallet decorated with a Sue Spargo design on a Yazzie wallet. So I always keep that. I move it from project box to project box of wool stitching. Well, when I was at Pioneer Quilts, you know, the classroom is at one end of the farmhouse building by a glass corridor that looks out to lovely gardens. I was thinking, I'm not going to buy anything, I'm not going to buy anything, I'm not going to buy anything. Yeah. They had near the cash register, a smart move, Sashiko fabric. And I have been feeling the call of the wild, or the call of the Sashiko lately. And so I ended up getting 3 pieces of fabric. 2 that would work perfect as backing or border. Not sure what I will, but isn't this absolutely lovely? And this is like you can make bags out of this. It's heavier. It's not like a lightweight cotton. It's more canvasy. More canvasy. So there's that blue one. And then they also had a colorway in the red. Oh, man. So I just bought a yard of each because I thought, yeah, you know, when you don't see a specific kind of fabric, you've never seen it before, then you kind of want to make sure you have it. And I also bought some actual Sashiko cotton to do some stitching on. So can you see that this, like if I made a little wall hanging or made coasters, this one could be the backing. So I had a lovely time at Woolly Stitch Day. Got to talk with all the women, and they were working on their projects, different projects they were doing, and oh, so inspiring, absolutely inspiring. I did get a package though. I told you before about Sewing the Good Life. I love Annette and her husband. They are good people, and they have a company called Sewing the Good Life. And I usually pick up a kit or so when I'm at either Market or Road to California this last time. So this is the one that I picked up the last time. And the reason I love these is because they're no-brainers. You can stitch in a car. There's no counting. It's pre-printed, and it's on sandcastle, so you can carry your threads in the back. Yeah. So you saw this before. Do I have that up? Yeah, that's right. It's just lovely. Just lovely. And it's all back stitch, you know. So I've been just working on the script. So this is what I mean, that it's pre-printed on there. So you just take this, a needle and a thread and a pair of scissors, and you're ready to go. And I keep it in this bag. I think that, I'm not sure, but I think my friend Sandy might have sent this bag to me a few years ago. And in the bag also is my other Sewing the Good Life. And that is this one, isn't it? It's like a table runner. Or you could make it a long wall hanging if you wanted, but it's called the Beehive Table Runner. And there I had one end done. And so now I'm going to be moving up the beehive. Yeah. Well, Annette contacted me and said she wanted to send me something. I'm not going to say no, because I love her stuff. It's a way for me to get a break from everything I'm doing. And she was so sweet. She sent me 2 of them. So one could be for you. Please be a subscriber of this channel. I will put her website drop-down in the drop-down box. But if you are interested in being in the running for this particular, is that not adorable? And see, here we go. Already pre-printed. Got the thread in here, all ready to go. Just use the word Christmas. I don't know about you, but tomorrow is Thanksgiving here, and which for us that celebrate, we celebrate a day of giving thanks for all the blessings in our life. What that means for me is that Christmas decorations get to come out on Friday. And I will be knee-deep into all things Christmas. So I'm going to be working on those stockings, and I will drop one in the mail for you. If you are interested, just use the word Christmas in the comments. The other item that I want to pass on to one of you lucky subscribers is this. I just loved making this cotton harvest. You all remember, it's this pattern here. I just love it. And it's hanging in my laundry room, and I have no need to make 2. So I'm going to pass this on to you. This is a Susan Gonzalez Designs that I got from the Cotton Harvest. And let's use the word sheets. There's sheets on the line. So if you're interested in that wool project, just use the word sheets. Okay, let's see. So I told you about Pioneer Quilts and Stitch Group. My girlfriend from high school came to visit this last weekend, and so it was, you know how it is. We haven't seen each other in person since pre-COVID, so 19. And but you fall into that history when you went to school. We were in high school together, and so it was a nice visit with her, and I took her to my favorite cross-stitch shop and to Pioneer Quilts also, because she's getting into that crafting thing too. We love company, don't we? One of the things that I think I shared with you before, I mean, there's so much in my life that I'm grateful for. And I am grateful for all the littles that I'm making that I've made those One Block Wonder quilts for. But I'm trying something new with the binding. So I called up a friend of mine who does the binding this way, and it's perfect for those quilts that are going to get laundered a lot and that you don't want to spend all that time hand stitching the binding down. And so for those one block wonder quilts, I am cutting binding on the bias. I am going to sew it on the back of the quilt with my sewing machine. And then I'm going to bring it around to the front of the quilt and tack it down by sewing machine. It's a little different process because normally I do attach it to the front and hand stitch it on the back. But for these littles, I think hand stitching a binding would be perfect. Not hand stitching. Machine stitching a binding would be perfect because they'll get laundered a lot. So I'm going to give it a try and I'll give you a report next time. So what quilt to do next? I did find out that my sister's oldest grandson is leaving for college next year. I mean, how in the world did that happen? I mean, he's already visiting colleges. Maybe, I mean, time just kind of flies, doesn't it? I mean, I remember when he was born, he was so sweet. Well, I asked him what his favorite color was, and he liked green. So I have a bit of time to make him a dorm quilt. And so I got this from Fat Quarter Shop because I thought, oh, this would be just perfect. It's a Fat Quarter 4-patch quilt kit, and you can go look at this on the Fat Quarter Shop. But what I just loved the colorway. It was gender neutral. Oh, don't I just sound so with it? Yeah, so this is a 4-patch quilt, gender neutral. So I'm going to be making this quilt for the dorm, for his dorm room to take to college, and I bought the backing because I decided I didn't want to risk not having a backing that I mean, he's a college student. I want him to not be like, whatever about the back. So I bought the backing that goes to this 4-patch quilt kit. And I love it because it's got it's signs, street signs for roads and stuff. And so I just love the colorway. And it's going to be perfect for this quilt. So come January, I'm going to start on this quilt. I'm not going to start it before then. Did you hear me? I'm saying this. I'm not going to start it before January because my little fingers want to do it today, but I have other things to do. So I'm ready for the Christmas movies. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the Christmas movies. Look at my Enzo. Did I tell you, Jennifer, thank you. Thank you so much. Enzo's got a Christmas outfit, and he's got little shoes. He's very happy. He's very happy. He's got his little muffler. He's all ready for the holidays. Okay, I think that's it. I think I covered everything. I did have my procedure. I don't know if I told you guys, but I went into the dermatologist. They took a biopsy off the back of my leg, which was suspicious, and so they wanted me to come back and do a wider excision. So I went in a couple days ago and laid on my stomach Well, they cut away at the back of my leg, and then they sutured the margins together. So that has been a little bit of a pain in the calf. But please, all of us who didn't use sunscreen during our teen years, it may come back to bite you. So be sure you check with your doctor if you see anything that's out of the ordinary. Yeah, well, that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. I am grateful for all the support and the company on this channel. And I look forward to sharing more stuff. I have got a ton going on here in the beehive. So you all take care. Love you guys.